This podcast may contain coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to Behind the Streams, where we interview amateur streamers, learn about their stream, life, and more. Now, welcome our hosts, Cameron and Terminalogic.
Welcome back to the second half of Season 1 of Behind the Streams. I'm your host, Cameron, and as always, I'm joined by Terminalogic. Welcome.
How's the past week's been?
The past week of our break, I guess.
Right.
I suppose it's been interesting. I've got back into my plane spotting.
Oh, that's awesome.
I believe I've shown you some of the pictures. If not, they're actually in Jukes' Discord.
Yeah, I've seen some of them. Those are. Didn't you buy a new plane recently?
No. I did buy a new plane for X-Plane.
Right, that's what I was saying.
But it kind of wasn't what I was expecting, so I got a refund for that.
Oh, nice. That's all good. That's all good. But yeah, glad to see you're back into it. I know you liked it a lot.
Yeah, well, I bought myself a camera, a DSLR camera for with Christmas money and whatnot. So I thought I'd go to the airport and snap a few shots, and some of them turned out quite okay, I guess. I got an Instagram account for that. I'm sure we'll link that underneath too.
Nice. What kind of I know all kind of weird subject. What kind of camera did you get?
Oh, it's an old model Canon.
Nice.
The 40D.
Oh, okay. The TDI or just the TD?
TD, I think.
Okay. That's cool. I mean, they're
Yeah.
good cameras. They're good cameras. I used to have a T3i. I'm going.
All right.
I'm planning to hopefully get a full frame.
Yeah,
In the near future.
that's right. Because in the US, the Canon camera names are actually different to what they are in Europe.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Did you not?
I didn't know.
So, I believe. Oh God. So you have the Canon T6.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
That's the US model, and in the UK, it's the Canon 3200D.
Oh yeah. Well, they're still named that. I guess they just try to make it a little simpler, maybe, for consumer.
For the Americans.
For the Americans, yeah. 3200. No, T6. That's it.
T6. But yeah, the camera that I wanted was actually really expensive, so I just double guessed myself and was like, "Oh, okay, I should probably get something a bit cheaper to start off photography with."
Yeah. Something just to start off.
And then
with.
work my way up.
Yeah. It really just comes down to framing and lighting at the end of the day, anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I got a pretty amazing snap of an A320 pilot.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I actually took the picture. Came home, uploaded them all into I think it's called it's a Photoshop add-on called Camera Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was looking through them, I actually noticed that I'd caught a pilot of a A320 waving at me.
That's awesome.
I'm sure with the power of editing, we can pop that up on the screen for you guys watching on YouTube.
Yeah,
but apart from me, how was your break been?
Pretty good. Just getting everything organized for coaching and stuff like that. Other than that, just I haven't really played any new games. I'm waiting for Resident Evil 2 to come out, which will come out in 2 days from the release. So I'm excited for that.
All right. I've never actually played any of the Resident Evil, so.
Oh, they're good. They're good. Well, if it's your thing, if you like horror genre.
It probably won't be one of my types of games then.
Yeah, that's really what really got me started playing a lot of games. I mean, other than just, I've been playing games for a long, long time, but where story really started getting into it for me was Resident Evil series. Whenever Resident Evil Director's Cut came out, that was my very first PlayStation 1 game.
Oh, right.
So, yeah.
Back on the PlayStation 1.
Oh, yeah. But it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
I think the earliest game I can remember playing was probably a Tomb Raider game where when you were in your mansion thing, you would have like the butler following you around and you could lock him in the freezer.
And the butler had all the glasses and stuff on his little tray. Ding, 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 ding. That's all you hear the whole time. You always...
Yeah, so I think
Now there were some like Easter eggs and stuff in that mansion area as well, like out in the garden. You could like glitch through walls and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Oh, see, I was really young when the PlayStation 1 came out, so I mean, I'm not too sure on what year the PlayStation 1 came out. It might have came out before I was born. I don't know. I should probably research all this stuff before I talk about it, but
definitely possibly. I think it was like, oh man, when did it come out? 98, 96, somewhere in there, I think.
So it was either the year before I was born or the year after I was born. Got you.
Nice. So yeah, you were young. You were
yeah.
You may have been a twinkle in your father's eye at that time.
May have been, but
yeah.
I mean, when it comes down to games and stuff, I think Jukes, the guy, for those of you who don't know who Jukes is, he's the guy who does our amazing intros to the podcast, the profanity warning and the outro, like all our links and stuff. During our week off, Jukes has actually been setting up a D&D.
Yes.
Which I'm quite interested in starting to play because I've never played it before.
Yeah, and we are planning to stream that as well for anybody listening out there. So hopefully everybody will look forward to that.
Oh yeah, if we do end up deciding to stream it, it will be on this channel that you're listening to us on right now on the Twitch channel. Twitch.tv/BehindTheStreams.
It should be a lot of fun. I've been playing D&D for a long, long time, so I have hundreds of hours in, maybe thousands by this point. But so something I really like, I really enjoy, and I think that that Jukes will be really good DMing it. So I think it'll be fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, he seems pretty hyped. I think he wanted to play it yesterday, but we were kind of busy recording this episode.
Right? But thank you, Jukes, for everything you do, bro.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, Jukes.
And this week, for everybody out there, we're going to be doing something. We're going to be adding on a little bit more, a little bit of flair and bedazzling fingers and stuff. We're going to start incorporating a little news into the beginning of the podcast. Just kind of a weekly thing, stuff really popular that's been going on in the streaming world, or things that have happened.
Yeah, and to add on to that, thank you to everyone in our Discord who did vote on the poll that I posted in the general for us to be able to add this into the podcast, and something that you guys will be interested into listening to, I hope.
I agree. So I guess we'll just let's just move on to that segment. It should be a lot of fun, and maybe we'll learn something, or we will not learn something.
I hope you learned something.
Hopefully we do.
Bringing you the news you need, not the... What? I'm not saying this. This is ridiculous. Re-cue the music. Re-cue it! Thank you. This is the BTS Streamer News with Cameron and Terminalogic.
This week in the news, a Smash player by the name Mango got a temporary Twitch ban for allegedly drinking too much on stream. Lucky guy. Summit 1G topped Ninja's subscriber count, but as of this recording, it looks like Ninja has reclaimed that throne. And a Fortnite streamer by the name Exotic Chaotic received a $75,000 donation, which is now the single highest donation on record.
So let's talk a bit more about Mango. So according to internet sources, the professional Super Smash Bros. Melee player was seen celebrating after the Philadelphia Eagles sealed a last-gasp victory over the Chicago Bears in the NFL playoffs. The Eagles snatched the win in the final 56 seconds on Wildcard Weekend, with the game finishing 16-15 in their favor. Mango was clearly ecstatic with the defending Super Bowl champion's performance, but it would appear that he had one too many to drink. After lifting his Blue Moon beer into the air, he dropped right next to the camera and out of shot.
Jeez, he must have been hammered.
Well, by what I've seen on the sources on the internet, he was pretty bladdered.
Especially to be just pass out on stream like that. That's crazy.
Apparently, he didn't get up to like 3 minutes after falling,
Wow.
and then it took him 10 minutes to figure out how to shut off his stream.
Anything on how long he was banned for? I mean, I know that goes against Twitch's. Like a self-harm thing.
I think it was 7 days.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But don't count me on that one.
Yeah.
Because I'm not too sure.
And it may not have. I don't remember reading how many days it was, so maybe nobody knew at the time. So now, as far as
it was either 7 days or 3 days. It's one of the two.
Nice. As far as Summit 1G goes, and him taking, becoming number one in sub count. I've been watching Ninja, at the onset of his popularity. And it doesn't really bother me when it comes to his success that much, because he doesn't seem like he's that bad of a dude. So, I think it's a good thing for him and other streamers. On top of that, these players that are at the top are all there for a reason, and it's because they're very good at what they do. And congrats to Summit 1G for taking those reins, even if it was for a few days. Congrats to him for sure. I always know recently there was some controversy about Twitch and advertising Ninja's New Year's Eve stream on other streamers' streams, which was kind of crazy at the same time. But at the same time, it was a good business strategy probably for Twitch to do that, because it's going to bring in more people. Even if it's just to other streamers' streams. They might come in and watch Ninja bring in the new year and then go watch somebody else. So you never know. So yeah, congrats to everyone in that top 20 spot. Keep grinding.
Yeah, it's something to get top 20, but it's also something else to be able to overtake. The Fortnite god is what people name him as sometimes.
Right.
I personally don't see him as a god, but that's just because I don't like the game of Fortnite.
So you're just
personal opinion.
You're just biased to Fortnite, the games itself.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
Which is fine. To each their own. I've played Fortnite plenty. It's not really my favorite of all time games or anything like that. It never will be. But for the youth of today, they like those style of games, which is fine. To each their own.
Oh yeah, I guess it's just the fact of the building aspect of the game, and with it being a battle royale, I just can't get my head around it.
Yeah, it's really amazing what all these top guys who fight in these skirmishes and stuff, what they can do, and their building and their gunplay. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
seeing streamers like Ninja or Tfue, even some YouTube streamers like Typical Gamer. I mean, he won the first skirmish. So back in the early summer of 2018. I mean, they're all good. They're just really good at the game. So.
Oh yeah, and right, and I guess sticking on the topic of Fortnite, this takes us on to Exotic Chaotic. So in the midst of streaming what seemed to be a pretty normal game in Fortnite, Chaotic received the largest single donation ever to be recorded on Twitch TV of $75,000. For those of you who don't know, Chaotic is a Fortnite pro who found success at the Ninja Las Vegas event during the summer and fall skirmishes. He took over $30,000 home from the summer and fall skirmishes, but the recent donation by another Fortnite pro has more than doubled that. As soon as a $75,000 donation from King Mascot, another Fortnite pro, shows up in Chaotic stream, he has a hard time believing it's real.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. I would too. Imagine seeing that coming across stream.
Yeah, I'd be like, wait, 75? No, that's 75,000. What?
I'm retiring now. I'm done. Thank you. Peace.
Twitch was great, thank you, bye.
Leave on ahead. Yeah, but I know that I think they've been friends for a while. I think, and I think that Exotic had even helped out that the streamer that gave the $75K had helped that person out a lot, and they just kind of paid him back for it in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, money can only go so far, but it's $75K. That can go a long ways.
Yeah, and I mean, from reading the stories to get this information, it was actually quite cool to find out that one of Chaotic's friends was going through a pretty financial crisis.
Oh wow!
He actually gave some of this $75,000 to his friend, and also put $8,000 down on his car.
Nice. That's awesome.
So, I mean, $75,000 may potentially change the lives of two people.
Exactly. I mean, and not only that, I mean, it's going to help King out as well, King Mascot, because, you know, especially if that person made a video of doing it or streamed it themselves when they did that, because then they're going to get more views too. So, I mean, they're going to make some money off of it probably. Regardless.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think, as much as I don't want to say this, but he may have taken the reins from Mr. Beast.
Yeah, because I know that I was actually watching Ninja's stream on the day that Mr. Beast was in there and donated. Now, I think he total donation was like 100K, or maybe it was 50K or something, but I know this is probably the largest single donation. I know with Mr. Beast, his was like, well, here's 1,000, here's 5,000, here's 10,000. I think it only went up to 50,000 though. It may have been 100,000. I can't remember exactly, but this is by far the largest single 75 boom K donation.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, what's next? What could possibly be next?
Oh, it's coming. I'm sure you get the right sponsors, and they're like, "I want you to drop this 100K on somebody," and then they're, 20 million views into YouTube or something. You know, I guess.
I mean, it's one way to get views, but it's a pretty expensive way to get views,
right.
But also generous at the same time.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it helps. I mean, that's how that. With like Mr. Beast and stuff, that's how he pays for all of it, because of his sponsors.
Yeah, I mean, he just got a recent sponsorship from TikTok. Like, who would have thought?
Right.
TikTok.
Right. that used to be another different app name. What was it?
Yeah, Quid. He used to get big names from Quid. That was one of his sponsors.
Oh yeah.
Unless you mean like the other name of TikTok, which was Musical.ly.
Yeah, Musical.ly. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Well, we answered two. we answer two things with one question. That's pretty skillful.
Oh yeah.
That's at least worth a follow out there for people who's listening. One question, multiple answers.
It's like that saying, killing two birds with one stone. But from what I've heard, apparently that's offensive to some people now, because some people may identify as a bird or a stone.
And if you want to, that's fine. I try to identify as a podcaster. That's going okay.
Oh yeah, I mean, the old identification stuff is
just be what you want to be. Be nice to people. It's that simple.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's it for this week's news.
Short and sweet.
Let's see who we've got on today's show.
World premiere.
Don't know what we did, don't know what we did, can't even live, don't know what we did, don't know what we did, we can't even live, it's so hard to live. All these thoughts running through our brain, doing what we can to remain fucking sane, living how we do so it feels the same. Yeah. Girl, I'll be by your side, 24/7 for 365, shitty headspace till you know I'm down to die, and you can make me feel alive, maybe get sober and come down from the sky, but you know how I love to fly, so we can maybe take a dip, colorful islands where we can take a trip with beautiful views, and that will be it, that's all you'll see, so I need to find out what your answer will be.
On today's show, when you hear his sinister laugh, you know he's working on some new shenanigans. He is Gamergoomister. Welcome to the show.
Howdy, hi.
How goes it?
Goes decent. Could be better, could be worse.
Falls somewhere right in the middle.
Usually does.
Breathing. It's always good.
Yeah, some days I forget, but you never know.
I mean, I find that an necessity to life.
What, breathing? Nah. That's just extra.
All right, you'll have to try it.
That's just how your chest makes sure it doesn't get stiff.
This is true.
Oh, okay. So it's like stretching exercises.
Every day, all the
Like yoga or whatever some streamers do out there.
Please, I don't want to. Let's not go there, because I'll end up talking about a set.
I mean, we just have to talk about you, and then that about covers it.
Whoa. Okay.
Have you had a good New Year so far? Good.
Yeah. So far, it's not been too bad.
Been playing any new games or anything like that?
In fact, I have.
Nice.
I've been playing Castle Crashers.
Oh, nice. How's it?
Been playing. It's pretty fun. It's difficult when you're playing by yourself, but it's pretty fun. Hope that I can get more friends actually play with me, because that's when the real stupidity begins.
Might have to jump in on that then.
And then I've been playing Divinity Original Sin 2.
Nice. I actually have been playing that as well.
I have not.
You need to get in on that.
When do you play anything beyond a trucking simulator or something, any similar?
I only play simulators. Thank you very much.
Exactly my point.
Simulators are fun. Sometimes.
Yeah, especially X-Plane.
Yeah, X-Plane is fun.
I mean, is X-Plane fun, or is it just fun to the point where you need to know what you're doing?
I think it's a mixture. I mean, if you like to learn, yeah, definitely.
Halfway between knowing your shiest and having fun.
Exactly. So, Goo, you're currently at college.
I am.
What are you studying?
I switched my major. I'm currently studying geomatic engineering.
Oh, you switched your major. Oh,
Yeah.
no, that's new to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the normal listener and people like me, explain what that is.
So a geomatic engineer is someone who surveys the land.
Oh, okay.
Usually, or the people who make them.
It's nice.
So basically, so in layman terms, he looks at grass and hills.
No, I measure the distance of the grass.
Ah, so you're a posh grass looker.
Posh grass looker.
Yes.
Now that,
Got you.
that's pretty funny.
That hill is slightly bigger than that hill.
How much school you have left?
Couple years.
Couple years left. Cool.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, you were previously, before the new year, you were doing civil engineering?
Correct. Doing so.
Yeah, so that's quite a change. That's quite a difference.
There's a few classes I could transfer. There's some similarities at the beginning, especially with your GE, but beyond that, not so much.
All right, okay. So you've not missed out much.
Correct.
At least you've changed your mind early, and you've not missed like half of the year.
Or be like one of my professors who goes through his entire education doing a degree he forced himself to because he thought he wanted, and then has to restart college all over again because he wanted to do something else.
Oh God, no, thank you.
Kill me out.
Yeah, he started off as a bio major and then switched to geomatics after he had already basically completed 4 years of his bio.
He just likes school.
Right. I mean, that's kind of like me. I started out doing IIT engineering, and I switched. Well, I had to start over again to do health and social care.
Wait, social care? Monkey being social?
Health.
Health. What got you into streaming?
That list is long and varied. Begin with, I didn't quite start off with YouTube, and it was because I found what other people had been creating, entertaining, and I wanted to also do something similar in content. And as YouTube has had a slow but more gradual decline into being less user-friendly, I switched more and more to Twitch. I've actually started to enjoy live streaming more videos because then I get to have direct conversations with those maybe watching, as well as anytime I'm stupid or hilarious, it's unedited. It's going to be there for everyone to enjoy my failures and stupidity.
So it was kind of a place for you to share with the world your personality.
Yes, even though it doesn't show through my voice.
There's that.
Yeah.
There's that laugh. There's that laugh, people. It was a very menacing laugh. That's what I heard. I mean,
I mean, I don't think it was that intense.
okay,
but...
maybe not. Maybe it was a little overboard on my side. But
Okay, so to continue with that question a bit, and to how your very first stream was, how did you how did you overcome the nerves of pressing that go live button in OBS or XSplit or whatever you use?
I do use OBS. And in all honesty, I've always found talking online to others easier, especially 7 years ago, since I've pretty much been interacting online. I found it much easier to interact with people online than I did with people in person. I've always had a very mellow and shy personality when it comes to being in person. Until I get to know an individual. In which case, you can't get me to stop talking. So I didn't have much problem just rolling with it, just trying to live stream. Pretty much hope that someone would come by and find whatever I'm doing entertaining.
Right. I mean, besides voice, I mean, it was kind of hard to get you to shut up the first time I met you in Tech Hit, so and that was through text.
I just met you here recently, and I mean, you seem like you're a really cool dude. So I've enjoyed talking to you so far.
Glad to hear it.
I mean, if he wasn't a cool dude, I don't think I would have been able to put up with him for the 6 years I've known him for.
This is true too.
Very true.
This is very true.
I mean, or it could be the way around. I mean, I suppose if I wasn't British, he wouldn't like me anymore.
Yeah, that's the sole reason that I like you. I'm kidding.
That's the hurtful.
Kidding.
I know a very select few British. It's just your glowing personality that I stay around for.
Exactly.
What personality?
So that tiny glowing speck off in the distance.
Oh, is that what personality
you have
is?
to get the binoculars to make sure you see them.
Right.
That's the sunset that the cowboy rides off into after those Western movies.
Just make sure it's not Ram Ranch. We don't want to go to Ram
Or
Ranch.
make sure it is Ram Ranch. It's up to you.
If that's your cup of tea, go for
exactly,
it.
Yeah, I ain't hating.
Just the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's us three right here.
Right. Oh wait, am I the ugly? What's
I think I'm the ugly.
Yeah, we'll share it.
No, all three of us are just all three topics. There we go.
All right, okay.
We're all shit. We're all good, and we're all pretty much ugly.
So if we run into each other, are we bumping up? No, okay, never mind. I ain't going there. Fisticuffs. Fisticuffs.
Yes.
They're a safe word.
In relation to fisticuffs, I had a person, when I first mentioned to them, they thought it was something 18 plus.
Oh, God.
Oh,
and I had to explain to them what it was, and it was like, have you really not heard of this term?
That's pretty cool.
So they originally thought it was like something you found on Urban Dictionary or something like that?
No, they thought it was a not safe for work topic.
Right.
There's plenty of those. We can come up with some of those, but that's another podcast.
Not for this episode.
When it comes to streaming, do you feel like that, let's say that a popular streamer hosted you, do you feel like you're ready and prepared for that? If you get like 4,000 or 5,000 people in your stream at one time?
No, the highest I've ever gotten to is 50 a single instance. Mm-hmm. So if all of a sudden 1,000 decided to hop in, I would feel very sorry for them, as I just sound so unenergetic that I feel they'll just want to just leave and not look at my not so majestic face compared to your guys' awesomeness.
Wait, you don't sound energetic? That's news to me.
Shh, he's trying to be humble. Shh.
As far as I've been told on several occasions, I don't. My enthusiasm for my love for certain games does not show when I'm streaming
Oh, okay,
until
I
they
got you.
start dropping F-bombs because people start getting retarded on the game.
Right. Which makes sense. I mean, especially if you kind of got a game that you started a stream and you actually don't like the game, I can imagine that would not go well. That would be the one stream you got 10,000 people pop in.
Of course, it would have to be that.
But I think that
At least-
as long as you have consistent content, that's really what it comes down to: consistency and people liking you for that consistency, and for you being you. It doesn't really necessarily matter that you're like the most energetic person in the world. I've seen some streamers out there that are potatoes, pretty much, and they're really popular. It just depends on the content.
Yeah, say so.
But what if they identify as like an aubergine or like a cucumber?
Then don't let cats around them.
What? Did you say if they identify as a sea cucumber?
I mean, I didn't say that, but if that's where you want to go, sure.
I wasn't quite sure what I heard there.
Cucumber. Alright. Let's see. Can you give us a stream horror story that you've experienced?
A stream horror.
Mhm.
I'd say the time I had all my mods on at the same time, because most of them are all friends and or family. They were just wreaking havoc in my chat.
It was fun though.
Oh my god! I had Monkey here, I had my little brother, 2 other people, and it was mayhem just to even read the chat.
Oh, I can imagine.
It also turns out you cannot time out other moderators or the streamer.
Interesting. So basically, you broke.
But you can mute.
Yes, you
Different
can do
ways.
that.
You broke
Figured that
Twitch modding.
Yeah.
something like
A little
that.
bit.
To go along with that horror story, would you call it a horror story? Would it be more of a comedic story? I don't
A
know.
bit of both.
It was a bad experience
but
for him.
Well, yeah, for him.
So as we're talking, someone is currently playing a trumpet nearby, and I don't know which room it is.
Cool.
All right, you
Good,
should like.
cool audio effects. Be alright.
Well, I'm just like sitting here, just like looking around, trying to figure out where that is coming from.
You should go and knocking on dom to dom and be like, "Hey, are you playing the trumpet?"
I'm doing a podcast here.
Excuse me.
Don't make me sick
So,
my British
yeah.
friend on you.
So to kind of, I guess, segue into the next question, to go along with that horror story / comedic story / God knows what happened. What's the best thing to ever have happened?
People actually chatting in my stream.
I like that answer.
I'd say that because then I get to actually. It doesn't happen very often. When it does, I do get to actually. I get to actually enjoy talking with people and actually interacting with them while I am trying to entertain them and show off what I am doing. And it's just something I find just the pleasure in, that they're enjoying what I am doing enough to be able to stay and chat, and I get to then hold a conversation.
Exactly. And I like that you said that, because that shows that, for one, you care about your community and you want to interact with people, and that's what your main goal is. And if it was like, it could have been anything that you said, but man, I do like that answer a lot. And I'm sure that all your viewers do as well.
I don't look like it. I still have to get back to actually being regular on schedule. But
It happens. Life gets in the way sometimes, but press on, I suppose.
Yeah, I miss your laggy Team Fortress streams.
well, they aren't going to be lagging anymore. So
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get silky smooth from Goo. What?
I have a better computer. Yeah,
Awesome.
it'll be less shit. Still be
Damn
shit,
it,
but
no,
less
I'm
shit.
I have to go and find another streamer to comment in there. No, I'm not going to go there.
Just go over to Rion, bug him a little bit.
No, I love Rion though.
He's
Just his
amazing.
voice. His voice is it's almost don't know.
we will say tranquil. We'll say tranquil.
It's almost like that perfect voice that you need for radio.
Yeah, I'd say that. I'm surprised he doesn't do puns because he just sounds like a perfect person just that have this commentary in the background what's going on.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll need to introduce you to one of his streams then when next time he goes live.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But Goo,
Yes.
speaking of you getting a new computer, do you think when streaming that the technology used by the said streamer matters to the stream?
So I have two answers. Yes and in relation to how well your stream can do in terms of letter and whatnot can swing both ways. If you're not relying solely on what you're actually doing and you're relying more so on your comedic personality or whatever you are doing as a streamer, then definitely you don't need to have better equipment. It's nice to. That way you can be heard clearer, or it doesn't sound robotic-y or whatnot. So it definitely helps, but it's not necessary. If you as a streamer are more reliant on what you're actually showing off, if it be gameplay, if it be cooking or whatnot, then definitely better equipment is needed, and it will affect the stream as you're trying to actually present some sort of your own product in a sense, and how well it is able to be represented will affect, per se, your marketing value of it.
Right. That makes sense to me.
It makes complete sense, and to any of the newer streamers that are coming up who may be listening to this, I actually think that's really good advice to take on board, really.
I mean, because really, I mean, it is all completely dependent on what you're doing. You know, if you're trying to play music, you need good audio. If you're trying to, you know, just play games or something like that, you want your viewers to be able to view your stream in, you know, at least 720p, if possible, and to have everything going smooth, at least 30 frames per second. But if you're just out on the street cruising around, you know, it could be toaster quality.
You know, and it's all dependent upon what you're trying to do, what you want to accomplish with your stream. If you're there to enjoy just laughing about and talking with your community and developing your community in relation to how you as a streamer and your personality is, your equipment isn't going to matter nearly as much.
Right. 'Tis true.
Doesn't say it doesn't help, but
Right. And to, segue off that, I suppose. When it comes to trolls, other than, like, Monkey Boy.
I was about to say Beyond Monkey.
Beyond Monkey. How do you personally handle trolls yourself?
It depends on how. If they're just doing it for entertainment purposes, I'll play along. I have had people try to prank me and whatnot, and I'll play along with it. So they start asking if I'm actually being serious, and usually at that point I start being the one to troll them. Because a good joke I'm usually down for. But if they're trolling and just being an ass about it, I'll usually mute them. If they start posing threats or whatnot afterward, then I'll write out ban from the stream. I don't care how important you may be. If you are going to be rude and interrupt the stream, be negative on the community that is trying to be built, I do not need you here. I will look elsewhere for people who are going to be who will troll in that case in a more positive manner.
Right.
Jokingly do so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to ever, in my opinion, to ever be toxic in a stream.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, you can go in there and joke around a little bit or whatever. I mean, even in some of the streams that we may or may not go in and troll some. We're not trying to be toxic per se. We're just trying to see, how does this streamer handle this, stuff like that, and it's kind of fun at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're not trying to be toxic or cause any issues. Just change clothes. That's all we're saying. Just change your clothes.
I'm down for a few jokes, and if you're willing to tell some dad jokes stream, I'll be all down for that.
Right. Off the topic of trolls now, since we're going past that. Are there any upcoming games you're looking forward to?
Yes, I have a small list. The one I am most eagerly anticipating, which all we have received so far is a trailer for it, but I am there has been some leaked news about it as of late. It is Dragon Age 4.
Oh yeah.
Recently, GameStop had accidentally released a pre-order ad for Dragon Age 4. So there's speculation that it may be coming sooner than people had initially anticipated.
Yeah. I actually did hear about that. I've always loved all the Dragon Ages.
Played through all of them, pretty much all. For the most part, all the DLC. I love the story.
Oh yeah.
It's one of my favorite series.
Same here.
Outside of Dungeons and Dragons.
Right. The board game or the
board game.
Okay, cool. Or not really board game, but RP game, I guess.
Yeah.
I
Tabletop, whatnot, blah blah.
I have a lot of time in playing D&D, so I love D&D a lot. It's a lot of fun.
We just get to talk all of our nerd culture around again, not just time to give it.
Right.
Dragon Age 4.
Go look it up.
Looking it up here. We may or may not have the video of it playing above at this time. But yeah, I mean, other than of course, if Dragon Age is pushed out, I mean, if we hear anything, it'll probably be E3 most likely for that.
Yeah,
But
'cause I know they had done the trailer at Game of the Year awards and whatnot.
yeah,
That was a huge drop.
which actually that one did surprise me.
So I'm keeping a very close eye on it. I check up every month, see if there's any news on it. And for a while, there was rumors about them working on it. So that was about it.
Yeah.
So Game of the Year.
Now, which style did you like best? Did you like the more where you can pause it and be more logistic, or did you like the more action, like Origins?
So there's a toss up on how I liked it. I like the tactical view of Inquisition. I like the visual fighting style of 2 the best, and I like the actual character development screen. I guess your inventory screen and whatnot of all your level ups. Specifically, the spells and abilities of Origins.
Yeah.
Origins, I feel, had the best combat in terms of how many skills you had available to you, how you could really design your character out of all of them.
Yeah, it did seem like the characters in the old ones were a little cut and dry. You could kind of customize them a little bit, but it was more about their story per se instead of your story.
Yeah.
But the magic, even the magic effects were really, really good in Origin.
The one thing I for sure missed from Origin that was an Inquisition was being able to talk to your companions outfield.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I agree with that. Now I want to go.
although otherwise, character development and the companions that were available to you in Inquisition far greater.
Now I'm gonna have to go reinstall Origin.
According to GameSpot, because I totally did not Google this game, it may have multiplayer.
That's not unsurprising.
Yeah.
Inquisition had multiplayer, but it was kind of, it was like actually related to the story. It was more so just off on its own thing.
Right. And hopefully they don't mess it up like they did Fallout 76.
Oh, please no. If they do that, I'd be royally pissed.
Yeah, it's kind of iffy. But we'll see. I'm hoping that maybe you can play the storyline together. That would be nice. I'd be down for that.
That'd be cool.
That'd be interesting, but they have to make sure they do it correctly and well. You'd have to do it similar to how the Halo series used to do, where it's the same straightforward system, and all you're really doing is particularly helping each combat in a sense.
Yeah. Easily drop in and drop out type scenarios.
Yeah.
Totally understandable.
But, I mean, is there any... Is that all the games you're looking forward to?
There are a few
that
others.
are coming out.
There are a few others that I have not. I do not recall them all by name as I did with Dragon Age 4. That has been at the forefront of my attention for
sold. Take my money.
Very long. Yeah. I have heard on the whispers though that they're going to be attempting a 4th installment of the Mass Effect series. The main storyline, but maybe taking place after Shepard has disappeared
Right.
per se.
Right. Well, that's interesting.
I have heard whispers of that.
See, I mean, what really sucks about that was I kind of did like the current fourth installment, I guess. It was just the facial animations were horrendous, and they should have spent more time on them. But, but I mean, other than that, if you can look past that, there's some stuff there.
If you can look past the visuals of the characters,
close your eyes.
The gameplay was actually very nice.
Right. I mean, that series, the gameplay has always been kind of, especially the shooting and stuff, has always been a little clunky.
Oh yeah.
But it was always the story. So, I mean, I thought it was visually, I mean, everything in space and the planets and everything like that was really nice. But
I liked how your choices actually not very Mass Effect, where if you pretty much let one of your allies die, or you didn't do certain thing, they were gone the entire rest of the game. It wasn't like with Dragon Age, where, oh hey, killed Liliana in the first game, and now she's magically back in third.
Right. No, these ones are, they die.
Yeah. I liked that. Where your choices in the previous games actually matter.
Yeah. And then try to figure out how many different other alien races you can have sex with. It's always fun too.
I'm pretty sure there's a great list of people who only play the game for the romances.
Oh yeah, I guarantee it.
and I know a few of them.
Okay, then so let's move on from video game sex onto the segment of the podcast that I like to call peeling back the layers.
Well, I'm not an ogre, so.
So go. Let's peel back a layer of the Gamergoomister. What keeps you grounded in real life?
Friends. I'm very, very centered around my companions, my friends. When they're not around, I do get a bit stir crazy and feel antsy and like I'm not doing something. So whenever I am around one of them, I do feel more at ease and I'm able to relax and just hang out and enjoy my time. Otherwise, I can just feel bored and I need to be working on something, even though I may not have the energy or drive to actually do it. So my friends are what keeps me.
That's cool. That makes sense. Anytime
I did not know that.
Anytime you need somebody to talk to or anything like that, you want to come hang out? We're usually here.
Yeah, I'm just a message away, bud. You know that.
Of course.
Yeah.
As long as you're awake, that is.
This is true.
Well, yeah.
Being on the
It's
West
like-
Coast causes a slight bit of difference when you're actually awake or not.
Yeah, it's only 8 hours.
Only. It's alright.
So, like we touched on earlier, we mentioned that you're in college and you're studying for a degree.
Yes. A degree. Only one so far.
So far. So, how do you balance streaming with the college life?
Fairly simple. Currently as most of the time during my weekends, I'm not stuck with a lot of work or whatnot. I end up with a fair amount of free time. I pretty much have to kill time until someone shows up saying, "Hey, do you want to do something?" And I can usually spend my weekends streaming because I'm still in my second year in college. The workload isn't excruciating until it gets picks up a little bit more and a bit harder, usually I'm able to complete everything in a timely fashion and still be able to stream.
Right. I mean, obviously, don't overwork yourself to where you start
You get
feeling
burned out?
drained. Yeah, exactly. Because that's when that's when you start making mistakes in your coursework,
Oh yeah, of course.
and that's like the last thing you want to be doing, dude.
Definitely. Time management is something I've had to very much learn very quickly, as between when I do try to stream, school, and the dreaded Dungeons and Dragons, your time can be stretched pretty thin when you also try to have a social life with your friends.
Oh yeah.
For sure. How long do you usually like to stream? Whenever you do stream, or what do you think is that magic number?
When I'm not showing, on a good day, I'll stream anywhere between 3 to 5 hours, if I'm lucky. On a bad day, at least an hour. My problem is when I do not. I have a problem playing a game by myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do when I stream. I play games often. If I have any other individual playing with me, I can play for dozens of hours at a time. I've gone 36 hours one time just playing a game with a group of people.
Right. Been there, done that.
So the second I get another person to be there and pretty much bounce off of in terms of communication,
Mm-hmm.
keep my mind on an active attention span, I'm able to pretty much stream for much, much longer. But when I'm doing it solo, between an hour to 4 is usually around the mark that I get.
Okay. That's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. And I mean, as far as busy as you are, I mean, that's a good number. I mean, you don't want to stream 8 to 10 hours a day and then still have to try to figure out how to do schoolwork and everything else. It's a good balance for you, probably. And I'm sure you still play in between that time, maybe without streaming, but it's, for me, when it comes to games, it's a thing that I relax with, and it keeps me centered, I guess, a little bit. Keeps me from being frustrated or something, per se.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I don't play games to relax. I have to be in the mood to play games. If I'm not in the mood to play a game and I launch a game, I'll last about 5 minutes and I'll exit out of it.
I've done that before plenty of times too. There's been a time where I'm like, I'm gonna play this. I get in there, I'm like, what was I thinking?
Right?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, I think it just comes down.
I'm not playing. Of course, there are games that I'll just get sucked into it. Any grindy sort of game that you have to really work to gain any progress. Minecraft, art, a few others.
Mm-hmm.
Anytimes I start doing it with a friend, I'll just spend hours and hours, and I'll pour more time than I probably should into them.
I mean, those games are really, really easy to. Okay, it's midnight. I'm gonna play for another hour. That hour goes by, and it's 7 a.m.
Yeah,
right.
I do that. It's because I want to do it for the other person. I've always had a generous personality of I want to do when I have something available to me, I'll want to do it for another person. I don't want to do this solely for myself. I want to try to improve the experience for someone else.
Yeah. And for as long as possible. So then you just keep playing and playing and playing. That makes sense. Now, when it comes to your stream, Does it bother you personally if someone, even at a personal level, is being negative towards you?
I have never had an experience like that.
Which is good.
Someone that I've personally known have be negative toward me. Now be giving me a hard time. Anytime I stream, Monkey does that to begin with. So it's
That's just how you know Monkey likes it.
yeah. It's like if you do, one of my sayings is, if your friends don't give you a hard time, then clearly something's wrong here.
Right.
My friends giving me crap is something I expect. Me giving my friends crap is something I also expect. If neither of those happen, it's something off. So I'll be jokingly negative towards people. If they're jokingly negative towards me, I don't have a problem with that. I very well expect it. If people are just being outright negative, then I will appreciate it normally.
Mm-hmm.
And I am very quick to shut them down.
So really, it just comes down to your zero tolerance, really, when it comes to someone being really, really negative in the stream, and you're just like, yeah. That makes sense. I'll be the same way.
I mean, if you're gonna joke around, I don't have a problem with that. If you're being negative, I will not tolerate it.
Exactly. If you're ruining the experience of your other viewers, then you need to go on somewhere.
Then, as many of the youngins of this day, they will say, "Be gone, thought."
Exactly. Shying away from the more personal stuff and going into you and your future. What are your goals for the future as a streamer?
Try to not sound so monotone when I'm streaming. That is the first goal, and that just takes practice time.
Oh yeah.
Which I know there is a long list of reasons why I am monotone. And it's just gonna take me a while to get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of actually with the stream, start streaming on a more regular schedule, as well as try to build a community who will show up on a regular occasion. When I have streamed, it's rare when I do get people there, so I do want to try to build my community to begin.
Right.
I want to start a community, I should say. I mean, no knowledge on how to actually improve streams. Actually, applying is the other question.
Right, yeah. And that's another thing, too, is like, I mean, you know it, and a lot of other streamers out there know it, but maybe just a very beginning streamer might not know it, but it takes there's a lot of hard work, a lot of hard work, dedication when it comes to streaming. And if you don't have it, then you're just not like really get anywhere, and you have to be ready for that 1 viewer or 2 viewers you get, and then grow that, and then multiply.
Yeah. If you're able to, and for any new streamers starting, I definitely say the best way to start off is invite friends and families to the stream. If even just a few of them, just to be in there, just listening in, or they don't even have to be fully listening in. They could be doing something in the background. Just have it open. Just have some sort of volume on the stream.
Mm-hmm.
That'll help make it seem like it is active, and maybe they will actually enjoy watching it. They'll come back more. But having those few people initially in there can help bring in others, and will then allow you to grow even further with your streaming. Develop a community of not just friends and family members, but people outside of that group.
Right, exactly. And the way that Twitch analytics works, you want to have consistent viewership, though. That way your name can rise in that big scrolling list of people that may or may not be streaming in the same game you are. So.
Exactly. I know that I've had a few friends where they were recently starting and even though I may not have been paying fully attention to what they were streaming, I had it playing in the background because that they were able to get other viewers in, and they've been able to hit it off since then, for the most part.
Right. I mean, and even us as behind the streams, you know, everybody that we've interviewed so far, we always go and watch their streams because we want to help you to grow, for one, and we want to help spread your community. You know, that's our goal.
Yeah.
It's always appreciated when others are willing to go out of the way for that.
I mean, I think I've only ever missed 2 of your streams because of the time you streamed them at, but I always try to be there.
Yeah, every time you and I've always been at least popping in, cracking a few jokes, telling me a smell.
I mean, I hardly ever stream on my personal Twitch anymore. I just mainly just a viewer.
I think I've seen you
now.
stream once.
Yeah. In the past year. So, I mean, I did have one more question, like one more mainstream question for you, but you've literally just answered it yourself without being asked it. What is one tip you would give a brand new streamer?
Oh, well, yeah, invite friends and family to come and check out your stream, and if Twitch registers them as an active viewer, then it'll help grow those who try to come in and visit, as well as stream games that have a very active community. If you happen to have a game you may enjoy, but may not have a super active community, say Prison Arc, it's a wonderful game. I know many people enjoy it, but it doesn't have really as active a community, unless you're a streamer who already has a community built around it. Compared to games like, say, Final Fantasy or any of those series, their community is very interactive, and people who have streamed that within just a few weeks have noticed a huge jump in their their viewer.
Right.
So obviously, do what you enjoy, but if you have a particular game that you enjoy and has been more known to have a more active community based around the game, that usually helps if you stream that over else or whatever you do stream.
Mm-hmm.
Be game specifically.
And you might find those, 3 or 4 people that really want to see that game streamed, that nobody else is doing it, and then they come in and you're like, oh, I like this guy, he's pretty cool. So then they follow you, and then it goes off from there. It's all part of it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but just to add on to that tip that you've just given there about the games, I would say try not, as much as I know that as a small streamer, as a brand new streamer, you want to stream the newest stuff. My biggest piece of advice would be not to.
Yeah, I'd say don't stream anything that is up and coming and the biggest thing currently, say Fortnite or when Overwatch was big, or etc., because it's going to be so overly saturated, people trying to find the new big thing, that it's going to be hard to get recognition from it. And if you do get the recognition you need perfect, it'll probably launch you off really well, but it'll be more of a struggle more often than not than the going and doing something that you may more enjoy or others may try to come to that isn't the big.
Yep. And going off what you said primarily, when it comes to family and friends, don't be afraid to invite them out there. Kind of part of being a streamer is having a little bit of self-humility. So, they might come in and say, "Oh, this is silly," and just roll with the punches. I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully they'll stick around. Don't be afraid to do it.
And who knows, maybe they'll tell some of your embarrassing stories or whatnot.
Exactly.
Exactly.
If it's something you really want to do, don't be afraid.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, if they do come into your stream and say, "This is stupid, why are you doing this?" They could be jealous that you're actually doing it and they're not.
Right. What is it?
Or there's just that one cousin who's just so disconnected from you that they're just an asshole.
Right.
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 So
You know who we're talking about, that fourth cousin from your mother's side.
How did you know?
Okay, so to wrap stuff up now, this is kind of where you can have the spotlight, as to say, and tell everyone what you've got going on in your streams currently.
Absolute shite.
Fair
Currently, I'm
enough.
actually just gonna be. I'm actually starting to get back. I'll be streaming. When this is being recorded, I'll be streaming the day after. I'm not gonna date it, because then it'll make whenever it does get around to be edited or whatnot, make it seem like it may have taken too long or whatnot. So I don't know how long it takes. And I'm gonna be going back to streaming on Saturday, Sundays, hopefully. Till then, until I actually get everything set up, there's absolute shite going.
And that's okay.
Okay, I
That's okay.
suppose that's one way to put it.
Yep.
But this is the part. This is the question where you really get to shine. So this is the question where you really get to sell yourself like that big juicy steak on your menu.
Now I'm hungry.
Ooh. Now you make me want a French dip.
Where and how can people find you on the social media?
You can find me on my Facebook page over at Gamergoomister. I do have a Twitter at Gamergoomister. I also have a Patreon, Twitch, and Tumblr, all at Gamergoomister. And for the most part, I'll be posting when I live stream, times I'm going to be doing so. If I remember, I'm going to be putting a date prior to me actually streaming. If not, it'll be on the spot. It's me saying, "Hey, I'm going to be streaming in 30 minutes," because I have terrible planning skills when it comes to when I feel motivated to do so. So go follow me over there. Say hello to everyone here when you do. Though they may or may not be in the stream at the time. If they are, feel free to antagonize them.
Please don't. I'm a very sensitive soul. But yeah, guys, as usual, all that information will be down below in the post description below this episode. One more thing. You've literally just said it, but do you have a schedule?
Currently that is in progress, but I'm hoping, and I cannot confirm nor deny it can actually be put in place. Saturdays and Sundays, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Awesome.
Ooh, early streams.
I like it.
Yeah, that way Monkey can actually be awake when it happens.
I mean, there's a difference of time zone difference and me being awake.
Which 10
I
a.m.
don't
would
want
be,
to talk about it.
did you say 8 hours? Something like that?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
So it's like 18. I'll be awake for that one. That's like 6 in the afternoon.
I hope so.
I thought you fun for that time.
Okay. I guess this is the part of the podcast where we say our farewells. Unfortunately.
Goo, it's been
That's-
really, really great honor having you on the cast. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate being here.
As much as I want to carry on this interview, we're unfortunately out of questions. So yeah, I want to thank you again, Goo. It's been a pleasure catching up with you. I haven't spoken to you in quite a while.
It is a minute between when we actually.
Yeah, I also want to thank you on agreeing to come on the podcast at very short notice, as in like an hour prior.
Yeah, my weekends are usually pretty open, so if it needs to be happening, I'll be more than welcome to help you in any regard.
And you're more than welcome to come back on the podcast in a future episode, to even be a guest host. Who knows?
Oh no, that would be entertaining. As long as I get to give On Fire grief about a particular game that we played far in the past.
But yeah, in all seriousness though, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, buddy.
I was glad to be.
Flexing just wasn't enough, ayy, to show you just how tough. Yeah, I can be when I flex. Body count up your girl next, say, fuck on that bitch so good. She want my morning wood, biting the flow like Drake, but I'll never be fake. Ayy, look at me, third eye shit, yeah. Look at me, just like Prince, yeah. Eat it, EP coming soon, you better look out. Dar-B making his mark, there's no stopping him now. Pop me a Zanny, watch the world spin. I knew when I started I was gonna win. Back in high.
Don't forget you can catch Gamergoomister on Twitch at twitch.tv/Goomeister and on Twitter at Goomeister. We will also put all this information down below in the description below this video. It feels good to be back recording again, guys, and we look forward to speaking with our next guest in the next episode. Who will it be? Who knows? Could it be you? Once again, a big thanks to Gamergoomister for being our guest. Thank you for listening, guys, and we will see you all in our next episode. Bye.
Toodaloo. Thanks for listening to Behind the Streams. Be sure to follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube.